everyone. I hope you are doing great and welcome to the Alice Talk. In this podcast, we'll be discussing various issues, cultural, political, name it. You will find it in the Alice Talk. But today we have a quite interesting topic again, as always, which is the caste system in India. The caste system is a religious system that would divide people to 5 main categories. The Brahmanas, the religious people, then you have the warriors, then you have the business owners, then the farmers. But there are people who are called the untouchables, and as the name might suggest it, they are not supposed to be touched by other people within the community, which is quite interesting. To discuss further and to get more insight about this topic, today we have with us Aradhana. She is a podcaster. She does podcasting about music and about politics. Today, she is here to discuss with us the caste system. Right, Aradhana?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
So, first, can you please give me and the audience the main differences between the castes?
Yeah, sure. So, of course, the caste system, by listening to the two words caste system, anybody can actually think about this one country, India.
Yeah.
And I belong from India, of course.
Yes.
And we have the caste system has been divided into 4 categories. So we have the Brahmins. They are like the highest category we can ever think about. And then we have the Kshatriyas, basically the warriors, as you explained in your introduction. And then we have the Vaishyas, the people who are basically the businessmen and they run shops and various, business.
Yeah.
And then we have the Shudras, who are basically the farmer category or the peasants category. And then these 4 actually, they, when combined together, they form the caste system. But then we have another, another category, which we do not really include under the caste system because they are totally untouchables. And they're known as the Harijans or the Dalits.
Okay.
Most probably, people mostly prefer to call them as Dalits.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the division of caste system, and all of them have their own work, and it's like the Brahmins cannot touch the Vaishyas cannot touch the Shudras.
Okay.
So that's how the system works.
So if you are a priest, which
Yeah.
is the most prestigious, let's say,
Yeah,
category,
Brahmins, yeah.
you are not allowed to touch the warriors, who are the second most prestigious category.
Well, honestly, I would say that yes, because in mythologies, in Indian epics, like the Mahabharata and the Ramayana, all were warriors, right? The kings and the princes, they
Yes.
all were warriors. But then they got their trainings from Brahmins, who
Yeah.
are priests, right? So they do have a proper connection, and it's okay for them to have a communication, to have a connection with the Kshatriyas. But then below that, they don't really want to even talk to them or
Wow.
maybe touch them because they're Vaishyas or they're Shudras. I mean, Shudras is not even a question. No, it's just no.
And what about marriages in this case? Are they allowed to get married to each other?
No, absolutely not. I mean, honestly, India is a country of culture, it's rich in culture, it's rich
Yeah,
in history and tradition and
indeed,
everything.
indeed.
And India is actually moving a lot more forward right now in the modern world. So since, honestly, I would say personally, if you talk about the cities,
Yeah.
nobody really gives a damn. No. Just get married. I mean, if you love someone, just go and get married.
Yeah.
And they don't really care about the caste and all. The religion might be a question, but very few instances, nobody really cares.
Yeah.
But then when you talk about the villages, which are little backward sides of India, honestly, there it matters, from which caste
It's still
you are.
present
Yes,
in the rural
very
areas.
sad.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
see. So in this caste system, what is the role of a woman? Are they following the same rules? How are they seen by the caste system?
Well, I would like to talk about the previous times and right
Okay,
now.
okay.
So, the previous time in ancient times, women, regardless of whichever caste they are, of course, if a woman is born in a Brahmin family, she would mostly be considered in the ancient times.
Yeah.
Noted. So that time, the women would be made sure, she was looked at, people used to look at her and people used to think she is the person who would actually take the generation forward. She would actually take the generation of the Brahmins forward.
Yeah.
So she was treated like that. And anyways, the status of women in the ancient times, they were not allowed to work, they're not allowed to do anything, regardless of any religion, any caste. Women had to face.
Okay.
And of course, that used to continue. Women in Brahmin, they are there to take their generation forward. Kshatriya, like women in Kshatriyas, they were there to take their generation forward. So like that, if you talk about the Vaishyas and the Shudras, they used to do the same thing. So women played like almost the same role. In the modern times, of course, women work and all, and regardless of any caste they come from.
Yeah.
So it's just how it works, yeah.
And
So
who
it's like,
owns the land?
the land?
Yeah.
Well, right now, I would say personally, like I've come from a village and also I have settled in the city.
Yes.
So that's why I've seen both sides of India, like the rural side and also the urban side.
Yes.
So in my family, I would say that the land was first owned by my grandparents. My grandfather used to own, and when he died, my grandmother is owning the land right
Okay,
now.
so women,
women do
women
have a say.
do have the right to
Yes.
to inherit.
Yes.
Okay,
that's great, actually.
That's a good thing, to be honest. That's a good thing to when you think about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, what is about education? There is also a distinction between the castes when it comes to education, when it comes to access to knowledge, or is it?
Absolutely. I mean, here also I would like to divide. Times are changing. So
Yeah, for
if you talk
sure.
about the ancient times, Brahmins were the only category which was, and Brahmins and Kshatriyas, I would say, not Brahmins. I'm sorry. So both these categories, if you talk about Brahmins and Kshatriyas, they were only allowed to take education. They only had access to knowledge.
Yeah.
But then the other castes, they were barred. Like they were like, you do not have any access to knowledge. You were just made to work.
Okay.
And also, if you talk about employment, like, which comes at par with education, like Brahmins were made to, even if you like study, a Brahmin's son will also be a Brahmin, of course. So if a Brahmin is a priest, the son will also be a priest.
Yeah.
They have to
yeah.
follow the culture. So that's how it used to work.
Yes. What about now?
Now, of course,
Yeah.
times are changing.
Of
I mean,
course.
I'm a Brahmin myself. I'm not a priest. I'm studying here.
Yes.
I'm studying in UK. I am myself a Brahmin, though I've dropped the name. That's a different thing. But yes, I
Yes.
was a Brahmin, right? So yeah, I studied. I came here. I'm not a priest anymore,
Yeah.
even though I did gain knowledge. I have friends,
good.
and honestly, I have friends who are from other castes, who are from. I have a friend, like, I have many friends who are like Dalits. I have friends who are, I have friends who are from the lower caste, but doesn't matter. I mean, we all are equal. And
Yes, that's true.
we don't really care about anything. We don't
Yeah.
care about castes, and all of them are at very, very high positions. Some of them are lawyers. I have friends who are doctors, who have friends who are engineers. Doesn't matter. And
Yeah.
that's how the modern times have come in. I mean, that's how India has changed.
Yeah.
The mindset has changed.
But the Dalit or the untouchables now are getting scholarships funded by the government in order
Yeah.
to get an education.
Yeah.
There is a certain dialogue about it, about should it be the case till today for the Dalits to get scholarships and to get like access to good scholarships in order to study? What do you think about it? Like some people would argue that
Yeah.
they don't need this any longer because now they are well represented within the society. What do
Okay.
you think about that?
So basically, there's something in India which we call as reservations. So like we have a general category for main, like wherein they call in the Brahmins and the people who are under general.
Yeah.
And the Dalits or untouchables or the lower castes, they have a special category reserved for them. So that's what we call as reservations. They have certain number of seats reserved for them, be it college or be it any other institution.
Okay.
So yeah.
Even
So-
in jobs.
yeah.
Okay.
Of course. So basically, scholarships, if you apply, like if I supposedly apply, and if a Dalit applies, if any other caste applies, a person from any other caste applies, I believe in India, the times have changed so nicely that a person who is actually eligible and a person who is actually worthy of that scholarship will definitely get. Be it a Brahmin or be it a like Dalit. Doesn't matter. A person should be like well skilled and well knowledged. Like the person should be very, very knowledgeable, very, very like he should be very good in academics, he or she, whatever, to get a scholarship. So
Yes.
it matters on how much worthy or how much you deserve that scholarship.
So you want
Right.
it to be based on merits.
Yes. So mostly right now the system works on merits, but there are still some sides of the system which do give reservations, which personally I don't know. I mean, I respect all people's opinion. I respect the people who are back in India. I respect
Yeah.
their opinion, but it's my personal opinion. I think and I personally believe that reservations shouldn't be there because we should actually Like, people should be
Yeah.
getting whatever they deserve. People should be getting whatever they're worthy of. So
Yes.
if a person doesn't come from a good caste, like a higher caste, not a
Yeah.
good caste, sorry, all castes are
Okay.
respect worthy.
Yeah, but in the
Yeah.
hierarchy, yes.
Yes, and the
There is a
hierarchy.
certain hierarchy
Of
that we
course.
cannot just neglect.
Of course, of course. So if a person comes from a lower caste, but the person is very highly knowledgeable and very, like, he's an intellect,
be
of course he's worthy of anything that he wants.
It should be based on merits, basically.
Of course, yeah.
But the thing is, like, if you take it from a historical background, people who are like Abrahamites or people who are business owners or warriors will have like the money and the education to survive through time in a way or another. For
Yeah.
them, like to have access to knowledge more than the Dalits, for example.
Yeah.
It only like brings balance in a way because
Of
the
course.
history and owning the money would be manipulated, but
Of
or
course.
would be the monopoles of the money and the education would be certain people historically. So in
Yes.
order to give a push to the Dalit, these
Yeah,
scholarships
yeah.
or these reservations
Yeah.
are needed in a way.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
It's
yeah.
quite a debate.
It's actually like, I won't also say that reservations are bad, because if reservations are not, like, if they wouldn't have been there before, then a lot of like riots would have taken place, honestly, in my country, because reservations are there to give the Dalits, to give the lower castes a name,
And a
proper,
chance.
a chance, and a proper, like, respect
Yeah.
to them. Like,
Yeah.
yes, they do exist and they do have their own respect. Their
Yeah.
own community is respected. So that is why reservations are there. And I do support. I'm not saying that reservations are bad, but then also we should also look at this side of merit.
Yeah, for sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
Of course.
There is something I was wondering about during my research about this interesting topic, to be honest.
Definitely.
Yeah, very controversial. I was wondering, like, if you are a doctor, because basically you are Dalit, you are untouchable because you work in sanitation jobs.
Yeah.
So you are touching saliva, urine that are considered unclean, and you cannot just clean yourself from touching these human wastes or whatever.
Yeah.
So if you are a doctor,
Yeah.
you are still supposed to touch blood, saliva,
Everything.
and everything.
Yeah.
Does like a bachelor degree or a PhD
Yeah.
helps you to get away from this
Of
judgments
course,
of the
of course,
society?
of course.
If you're a doctor, it's fine.
Yeah,
You are
I mean-
touchable.
I mean, I am proud to say that at least, like, I personally come from a village area, as I said before, and in my village, nobody really cares. I mean, the village people are so open-minded, and they have got to know, they have got to live with the new generation right now. They know that it's not like if you start making these like commands, and if you start passing these commands, no, I'm not gonna, like, I'm a Brahmin, how can I go and get treated from a doctor, by a doctor who is from a lower caste? Dude, right now your life is much more precious, right?
Yeah.
That, rather than which your plan, like your thinking, your mindset about which caste should I go and get treated from.
Yeah.
A doctor is important right now. You need to get a doctor.
Yeah.
You don't need to know that from which caste he or she comes from.
No, but
So that's how it happens.
Yes, but like the doctor in modern days
Yeah.
is also like, in a way, if like you use the analyzing methodology of the caste system,
Yeah.
is a person who will be touching saliva, blood, urine.
Everything.
So is he an outcasted in this case? Even if he is from Abraham's family, the fact that he's touching this unclean stuff according to the caste system, he is a Dalit, let's say. Like,
Okay.
if you follow the logic,
Okay.
does the fact that he has this knowledge, he has a bachelor degree, would like protect him from this misunderstandings or this judgments?
Okay, so there is again a little bit twist to the story. That is, it's not like that. In India, getting a degree, becoming a doctor, it's like a dream for every family, and every family dreams of their son becoming a doctor and getting married, because and every daughter's fathers and all, they always dream of, like, what if, like, I want a son-in-law who's a doctor.
Everyone wants a doctor
yes,
now.
Yes.
So
it
it's fine if
doesn't
the
matter.
doctor is touching
Yes,
saliva.
yes.
A dentist would be also good.
Dentist, yeah, because in my family there's a dentist,
Oh,
of course, so I know. There is, indeed. So it doesn't really matter. I mean, yeah, in many I would say not many, but few families do consider the caste, but many really don't. They're like, your profession is good, you earn in like lakhs or something, just come in.
Yeah.
That's how it happens.
So, what about the wealth division? Are, for example, Brahmanas more likely to be the richest and like the lower castes to be the poorest, or is it any
It's all
different?
equal right now.
It's all equal.
Yeah, it used to happen. Like I think before, I'm not really sure about this fact, but I think the Brahmins used to be a little bit rich because they used to be priests, and if they used to go and worship, like do pujas, perform pujas in our culture, they used to perform pujas and worship to gods. They used to perform these rituals in homes, like
Yeah.
in different homes. So if they used to go to a rich home, they of course used to get gold and stuff as gifts for
Okay.
performing a ritual,
Okay.
like as their own money. Like
Okay.
they earn in gold or something in cash. Also, that time used to work.
Yeah.
But right now, it doesn't really matter because everybody is equal right now. Like you can find a Brahmin who's in a middle class who comes from a middle class family. You can also find maybe a Kshatriya or a Shudra who comes from a very very rich family.
Okay.
So it doesn't really matter right now. As I said, everybody has become equal. Everybody is earning. So it
Yeah.
depends.
The third class
Yeah.
in the caste system are the are the business
Businessmen.
owners.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, is the Brahmas richest than the business owners in this case?
Not really. It actually depends. If your
Okay.
business runs well, you might be rich.
So
it
the
depends.
money,
Money
is
thing
not
is-
considerable
no.
in the caste system.
No.
Aside, I think from the Dalit in
Of
the Dalit
course.
and the farmers,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
like they won't be earning as much as the other ones, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's quite interesting, to be honest. So in politics,
Yeah.
let's talk a bit about politics.
Oh my God.
Are the Dalit represented in politics?
Yes.
Can they run? Can they win?
Of course. I mean, I'm okay. This is a very interesting topic for me
Yeah.
because Dalits do have a place. They do have that amount of respect to actually run and win an election, and I'm very, very proud to say Dalits have gone up to holding the highest and most respected positions in our country.
That's great.
Absolutely. Like, the minority groups, if you talk about the tribal groups, I mean, one of my known person, I know her, and she comes from a tribal community, and right now she's currently serving as the president of India.
Wow.
Yeah, and she's a tribal woman.
Yeah.
So that's a huge respect. I mean,
Yes.
they are getting the chance, and that's so. I'm so proud. I'm so happy to see modern India right now. India is changing, and then in Dalits, if you talk about, we have like all civil, servants. We have government officers who serve the country. All most of them, they do come from other like different castes. It's not like you have to get a Brahmin for that. No,
Okay.
we do have very, very like amazing people who come from minority groups, and they are very much respected.
Okay. Then are the castes voting for each other till today? Would the Brahmas would be more likely to vote for a Brahmas,
Well,
and a warrior
yeah.
would be more likely to.
I would say that I cannot really totally deny the fact because
Okay.
there are people with that mindset, narrow
Yeah.
mind. It's not their fault as well because they do come. They are old generation people and they do have that mindset. We really, even if we want, we cannot change it that easily. It's very difficult to change a person's mindset.
Yes.
So there are many people who do prefer voting for a person who comes from a higher caste. So
From a higher caste, or would it be the warriors? Because there is this idea of the warriors would be more like related now to the military, I guess. Just guessing here.
yeah.
So people would vote for the warrior because they would think that they are like more proper for the job of fighting, let's say. Or
Not
Although
really.
modern, yeah.
It actually depends. Like you have warriors who come from lower caste, you have warriors who come from higher caste. So it's not like, as I said, times have changed and you won't find only Kshatriyas fighting. No, it's like different.
Okay. This case, like when it comes to India, there is a diversity of religions and
Absolutely.
culture backgrounds, even languages, diversity
Yes.
of languages too, which
Yes.
is very interesting. It's a very rich country, culturally speaking.
Yes.
Here, I'm just wondering, like Christian people who are Indian, Christian Indian or Muslim Indians,
Yeah.
what are they considered? Are they considered like Brahmas? Are they considered warriors? Where do
Okay.
they fall into the
Okay.
categories?
So, honestly speaking,
Honestly speaking.
yes, I'm going to be very honest here.
Yeah.
The Brahmins, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, these categories, they come in the Hindu religion.
Yeah.
So they are like totally different. And I won't say that the Muslims, the Christians, they do come under lower caste. It's not like that. They are totally different. They are totally a different religion.
Okay.
So we respect them equally, of course,
Mm-hmm.
because they are equally, they have their own God, they follow the religion. Like, we have this mutual respect for each other's religions. That's how it works. And the Brahmins and all, like, as I think, like, as in the religion of Islam, we have, like, they have Shia and Sunni.
Yeah.
So we do follow that, right? So, like, just like Shia and Sunni, we also have Brahmin. Like, they have two, we have four. That's the difference.
No,
So
but
it
like
just works the same.
in Islam, it's different because it's not like categories that come that like it's not a hierarchy. It's
Okay.
just two school of thoughts. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
two doctrines.
Yeah.
That's it. But
Yeah.
no one will argue that one is better or one like
Exactly.
like
At least that's the best part.
even historically
Yeah.
speaking. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I'm wondering about is like a person who is a Muslim
Yeah.
would be an untouchable because a Muslim would be like eating meat, which is something that's seen very negatively by the Hindu
Yeah.
by the Hindu system, and
Yes.
like this might raise concerns in terms of would they like be embraced, knowing that the Hindu religion would be outcast people following this religion just because they eat meat. You see what I mean? So where are they like in the caste system? Are they like considered Dalit or they are just like
No, they are treated equally, but then they are not considered Dalits because
Okay.
we don't consider them, of course, we don't consider that religion to be anywhere under our castes.
Okay.
So Hindus don't consider that. They don't consider them to be anywhere, be it also Shudra. I don't think. It's my opinion. I don't know about other people.
Yeah.
Because I've not seen this difference happening. I've not seen any sort of incidents taking place as of now in India.
There are a lot of hate crimes in India against
India-
Muslims. It does
yeah,
exist.
yeah. The hate crimes, they go on.
Uh-huh.
But then, like, the caste doesn't come into play. It's basically Hindu and Muslim. So it's like 50-50 hate crimes going on. Either 50% of Hindus dying or 50% of Muslims dying. The hate crimes are going on because of a lot of issues which are there in India. I mean, of course, like, it depends. So, like,
But
there
like
are a
the
lot of
majority are
inside-
Hindus, so like
Yeah, that's
the
how it
minority
works.
part.
That's how it works. So, like, in India, sadly. But then India is, of course, a cultural country, but then a lot of people mindsets and everything. I mean, as I said, it's very difficult to change a mindset of a person. So me belonging and coming from a country like India, I definitely know what it takes to change the mindset of a person. And I'm happy to say that India is changing because the mindset of the people have changed.
Yeah.
But then still the fights are not stopped. They're still
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
do pray to God that it
Unfortunately.
stops and everybody just comes together.
We
Then-
do pray. We all do pray.
Yeah.
So is it possible to change your religion to convert to Hinduism? Is it possible?
Oh, yeah, it is.
It is.
It is.
If a person who comes like from a different religion convert to Hinduism, what would this person would be considered in the caste system?
Okay, that's a very interesting question, and I'm not really sure about this because I have I myself, I'm a Brahmin. I'm born as a Hindu.
Yeah.
But there are many people who convert themselves. Maybe mostly I've seen if you talk about, there's this movement going on in India, the Krishna. He is our god, Krishna consciousness movement, and ISKCON is the temple which you can find anywhere, like many parts of the world, and mostly Christians, they come there and they pray, and I've met many people who have actually changed, who've converted into Hinduism.
Okay.
They do follow. But then I think they are also treated equally, and there I guess caste doesn't come into play. I mean, they are not placed like, Brahmin, you're a Brahmin, you're a Kshatriya. This plays in this caste system actually applies to people who are purely Hindu, who were born as Hindus, who didn't convert. So basically that's how it works. Like supposedly a person who changes his or her religion from Islam to Hinduism, so that person will be treated equally. That person will be treated with respect. Like, yes, you're a Hindu, but doesn't matter from where, like, the caste system won't be applied to you because you were not born as a Hindu.
Okay.
You
Okay.
came from a different, came from a different religion, so it's absolutely okay. That's what I feel. That's what I think. But then there are people who might have their ideologies and their mindsets they can apply, and they might say that you come from a lower caste. There are people. I won't deny. But then, yeah. But
there
mostly
are
I've
some
seen
people who are like very
very
attached.
rigid.
Yeah, very
Very
rigid.
rigid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think in the rural areas, it exists even
Yeah.
more.
Yeah. Even I have seen people not accepting like the conversion as well. I have seen. Now I'm not really sure why they're not accepting. Maybe there might be any reason, but then I've seen them not accepting. Even if a Christian changed into Hinduism, they won't accept that person. Yeah, because the person was. They will be like, even if that person changed into Hinduism, at least he or she was a Christian before. So yeah,
So that's
that
raises
that that
questions.
thing
That's
comes
not,
into
yeah,
play.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 So I know that you dropped the name.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you decided to go out of the caste system.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because
Yeah.
I am tired of seeing how much people discriminate, how much inequality comes into play, and I don't want that. And when my time came, it's not like I'll be marrying someone like from out of the caste or something. I'll marry a person whom I love, right?
For
So
sure.
regardless of any caste, any religion.
You deserve that.
Yes,
Of
absolutely.
course.
Yeah. But then I also love my family. So I told my family, and I'm very happy to say that actually my mom and dad, they supported me in this. So I do have my title. My title is Brahma, which comes from Brahmin, but I've kept my title to give respect to my family because
Okay.
they were the ones who brought me up. They were the ones who gave birth to me.
Obviously.
So of course, but then I would not like to follow the caste system anymore. I'm a true Hindu, but then I won't follow the caste system at all. That's the one thing that I would like to drop because I, as a person, I believe in equality. I
Yes.
believe in proper, I believe that every person has access to their fundamental rights. So it's not like you cannot snatch that rights from them. You cannot snatch their rights away from them on the basis of their caste, on the basis of their religion. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
So that's why, in order to start off this little change, I decided to drop my name,
Yeah.
like my caste.
Yeah, basically dropping the caste or dropping the name, even the name, is very possible in India. You can just decide not to follow this caste system
Yeah,
any longer and drop
absolutely.
the last
Yeah.
name, because each last name would be representative of your caste,
Yeah.
the caste you are coming from, right? But isn't it, in a way or another, a social privilege? Isn't it because you are a Brahma, you are from the top class, you can just like get rid of it? However, people who are Dalit, for example, who are untouchables, and let's acknowledge it, there are people in India that are still suffering from the caste system, especially in the rural areas.
Yeah.
So these people, can they like just get rid of the name and start a new page? Do you think it's feasible for them?
Yes, I think it is possible for them. That it is actually feasible for them as well.
Yeah.
They can do that. They do have this option of dropping their names and starting off a new life. And mostly people do that. And there are many Dalits, and I feel very, very happy to see them. They do not feel ashamed of being a Dalit. They are very, very proud of themselves being a Dalit. So that's what I feel like it's absolutely right. I mean, you should feel happy for whatever you've got since birth, right?
Yeah.
So most of the Dalits I have seen, they love to conserve that privilege of themselves being Dalits. So they don't want to change their names or something. And right now, I would say that I don't know about the situation which takes place in village, because I have still seen instances wherein, if you talk about Dalits and if you talk about the Brahmins, they have different wells, they have different schools. Even if the Dalits do have some access to education, they do have different schools. Like a Brahmin guy or a Brahmin boy and a Dalit girl, or a Brahmin girl or a Dalit girl, or whatever, they cannot sit together.
What?
Yeah, they cannot sit together. They cannot attend the same school. They need to have different schools, different wells. They will take different. Like Brahmin's well is always they will also discriminate on the basis of water. Okay, if this water is being touched by a Dalit, a Brahmin won't go and drink that.
What?
That's, yeah.
Till today?
In many villages, sadly, yes. I would say yes. Because
Wow.
I have heard about instances, I've heard about many incidents. Even if I summarize it as a whole, intercaste marriages do not really take place, especially in backward India, backward
In
side of
rural
India.
areas.
Yeah, because there I've read, like on newspapers, like even if a boy and a girl, they love each other and they're from different castes and they supposedly get married, the family makes sure that either the guy or the girl is killed.
Is killed?
Yes, I have seen these on newspapers. I have read them. It was like, I wouldn't say it's new, but then these incidents do take place.
Few years ago.
Few years ago, yes. of course. They
So
use.
what you are telling me is, if you get married to a Hindu guy, okay,
Yeah.
but he's from a different caste.
I won't have face a problem because
Yeah,
I
not
grew up in a
you,
city.
not you,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, yeah.
not in the. No, I'm talking about the rural areas,
Okay,
not on,
okay,
on the
okay,
urban areas.
okay, okay.
You might get killed because you got married to someone who is not
Yeah, if the village
from
is
your
too
caste.
much violent,
Wow, wow, wow.
definitely they might do something.
This is quite
But then if the village,
interesting.
yeah, so there's like, if the village chooses violence, like,
Wow.
we have this one quote, like, you woke up in the morning, you chose violence. So just like that, if a village sees that something is going against their will, they'll do something very extreme.
What the government is doing for raising awareness about these topics?
The government is basically has become a little bit strict. Like, if a person, be it an actress or be it someone, if
Yeah.
they take the name of something, and if they, there are many names. Sadly, Dalits are called out names very sadly, and I
Yeah.
do not support that at all. Of course, we shouldn't. There are many instances wherein, by mistake, there are many people who by mistakenly make a meme out of them, or maybe call them names,
Okay.
and government makes sure that these people are caught and arrested.
Wow.
They are
Yeah.
jailed because of the disrespect that they are giving to Dalits, because right now this movement has become really huge,
Yeah,
and it's
it's
very
true.
serious, at a very, like, it's just on another climax, another level.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's quite interesting, to be
Absolutely.
honest. Yeah, yeah.
You should actually visit our country.
I
You
will
need
for
to see.
sure. I have a
Absolutely.
lot of Indian friends here.
Oh.
All of my friends are
Yeah,
Indian, to
me
be
too.
honest. A lot of my friends are Indian, and like I love the culture. And to be honest, I didn't detect like any kind of hatred or
No,
any
you
kind
won't.
of like totally the opposite. The nicest person I ever met. However, I noticed something.
Yeah.
When I started like discovering this thing about the caste system, I
Yeah.
asked a lot of my Indian friends about their caste,
Yeah.
and I don't know why.
Okay.
They are all Brahmas. They are
Really?
all they are all from the upper caste.
Really?
Quite interesting. Yeah, some of them, like if
Oh.
they are not Muslims, they are Brahmas. Yeah, which is quite interesting.
Yeah.
I don't have a wide sample, like
Yeah.
to make any assumption, but I'm just telling you what I noticed.
Oh yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Because what I can say, like, I did make a lot of friends here. Mostly, you would have noticed. I mean, mostly, I think foreigners for us, they can actually make out like. Most, like, 50% of leads is comprised of Indians.
Yeah.
So so the thing is that I have a lot of friends, my accommodation friends and my, like, university friends.
Yeah.
Most, like, we all are Indians. I do have a circle of Indians, but then I have seen the diversity. They come from
Okay.
different states,
Which is
and
good.
and also they come from different castes,
Which is great.
And
you would know
yeah,
better because
of
you know a
course.
lot of people. You know a lot of Indian people here.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And something that you said that is very important in the healing process, because when we are talking about like historically oppressed categories,
Yeah.
I don't know why always a part of the healing process is like to grieve, to
Yeah.
embrace,
Yeah.
to accept,
Yes.
and to thrive.
Yes.
You said something extremely important when you told me that a lot of Dalit people do not want to drop the name.
Yes.
They want to
of
keep
course.
it. It's part of their heritage. It's
Yes.
part of their history. And even if it means suffering, it also means thriving, because
Yeah.
now they are seen as president. They are seen like
Of course.
even like more like in a prestigious
Like, way. They're
yes,
seen in a prestigious
yeah,
way.
for sure. In prestigious jobs, they are getting it, I guess, and
Yeah,
hopefully
absolutely.
it will be the case, and the equality will
Again, come back.
will happen one
Yes.
day. Yes, will happen one day. Yeah. It's not an equal world, right? But I just want to know, before ending this episode, about one or two incidents that you had to live as an Indian, because you lived in the rural area for
Of course. I
a
lived for a few years
Yeah, when you were a
because when
kid.
I was a kid, and then I moved in because my dad's job
Okay.
was posted in a city. It's a metropolitan city in the East India. So it's like totally posh and modern. So we just went
something
there.
you noticed that triggered you, like you were like, what is this?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. When you
About
talk
the
caste system.
Yeah, about the caste system, of course.
Okay. So I have seen my village is modern, it's good. But then, as I said, in a big world of modern people, you'll also find people with narrow mindsets.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
So one short incident actually happened with me. I still remember I was like around, like, how much, 7 or 8 years old. I was just like, that was my age.
Yeah.
So I was just playing and around my village. I went to my grandmother's house at one of time during my summer vacation.
Yeah.
So one day, like one fine day in a sunny weather.
Sunny,
So
beautiful day.
yeah. So this woman and she, very beautiful woman with a very beautiful sari, and she and her little kid like in her lap. She came in front of our house. She stood there and she was asking like she was very poor sadly, so she was asking for clothes. She was like, I need some clothes, like if you can just donate them to me. So I and she like I was there, I was present there, and then I went and called my mom and my relatives. They did come, they didn't bring some clothes, and when I took them from their hands, I was trying to give it to her. They snatched it from me and they threw it at their face, like at the woman's face. And that
They
was
threw the
something-
clothes at the woman's face, right?
yeah, like it's just like just throwing the way you throw something at someone.
Yeah.
So that's what took place, and that's what actually shocked. I was really shocked. I was like a kid. I was shocked. I was triggered. I'm like, what is wrong?
Yeah.
I mean, she's also human being. She's not a monster or something that's gonna eat you up.
Was she a Dalit, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the first incident that I noticed.
That you saw, yeah.
First time, like I got to know like, oh, this is how it works. No, this has to change.
Yeah.
So that's why my mindset. I'm very happy to say that like I grew up with a different mindset. I was like, no, everybody should be equal,
Yeah.
regardless of any religion, any caste.
Of course. Did
course.
it bring you like to this incident when you were a kid? Did it bring you to where you are at today? You are not accepting the caste system. You want to keep the name for your heritage, for your history, but you
Of
don't
course.
want to. You
I don't.
just
Yeah, I
drop
don't
the
follow.
caste.
Yeah, I'm just dropped the caste.
Yeah.
There are many. Of course, I know that. There are many known people of mine who would not support me in this. They might throw a lot of hatred towards me. They might pass a lot of criticism and comments towards me. But then, what matters to me is my parents first and foremost, my mom and dad. I mean, they are the ones who brought me to this world, and I respect them more, and I feel like if they have supported me, I don't need anybody else's, clarification for this.
Yeah, you don't need to clarify anything,
Absolutely.
especially when it comes to equality. Even if the parents are not supporting sometimes, I'm very happy that your parents are supportive, but sometimes it's not
Absolutely.
always the case.
Yeah.
It's totally fine.
Yeah.
You should just make the decision yourself.
Absolutely.
Like, you should just
Yeah.
break the chains and
Go free.
go ahead, go for it. Thank you so much for
Oh my
all
God,
the insights.
it's my pleasure.
Thank you so much for all these ideas. It was brilliant talking
Definitely.
to you about the caste system. And this is something that I was telling her since our friendship started, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm just so happy and thrilled that both of us, we are coming from different heritage. We are coming from
Absolutely.
like absolutely different backgrounds, but we still can connect. We still can put aside our differences and like thrive and like exchange ideas. This wouldn't be possible if we were not like, let's say, open-minded enough,
course.
want to learn more about ourselves and about our histories, our stories, and our heritage, which is very interesting when it comes to making cultures speak to each other. Thank you so much, Aradhana.
Oh, thanks
And
to you.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. Hit like and subscribe for more content, and have a beautiful day, friends and family. Bye-bye.